was like a 18-year-old boy beating up his 6-year-old little brother.
Are they all right? Should have done that.
Look how his ass just went limp. He's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna lay here. Good movie season must be back. You know what? And the thing is, like the Predator, we've been hunting for good movies for the last couple of weeks.
Well, plus it's September, and it's like, oh, this is always the worst month.
Yeah, September. You know, August finally done bled into September, and it's a dry spell. But you got that one movie that's kind of ushering in the big entertainment blockbusters, the award films, and hopefully that's what people are thinking about with the Predator. Predator's back, man. And they said, Predator's cool because we going back to real Predator roots right here.
Sure.
Because see, that's been the problem with this whole franchise is that they've had a lot of Predator movies, but the problem with the franchise is a lack of coherence, I think. Why are you laughing at me?
Well, you're right. I mean, the first two movies feel like they're connected, and then all the others seem like no, I'm doing it my way.
See, you're right. Because some of these they have been directly connected to the first Predator, such as what are your favorites? Martin Predator 2. It didn't have Arnold in there, but had the Predator going into at the time the future.
Right.
Because this came out like early 90s. This is 1997. He went to Los Angeles and hunting ass. and had your boy Danny Glover in there.
Sexual predator.
The sexual predator, yeah. Like he was in a porno or something. But that had your boy Danny Glover. That's the one that actually got everybody onto the whole Alien versus Predator kick. That's the one where at the end it introduced it showed the alien skull.
Oh, right.
And that's what everybody's like, man, shit.
You see that?
That'd be badass if that happened. And they said, all right, you think so? Yeah, he had not only one, but two Alien versus Predators movies. And that second one, y'all, that's the one where people like saying, okay, maybe that's kind of connected, but you know what? You can keep that bullshit.
Right.
Yeah,
you know what? I'm sorry I asked for that. Just ignore me next time.
And then you got some that were, well, maybe it could stand on its own or it could be connected. It's the one Predators, where they went to the Predator world, which I thought that one was a pretty good film, man.
I actually really enjoyed that.
I liked that one a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea that they made it a horror movie with predators in it.
Yeah.
But also connected it.
See, you say a horror movie. I thought it was like a sci-fi action flick. And it's
that too.
Yeah. They combine all these things. But when you really go down and look at these movies, they say connected, but they've all kind of been just like an anthology in a way. They all kind of are standalone episodes in a way.
Yeah.
Well, this one that we have here, this one is trying to take it back, but still it's kind of confusing people. That coherence is still, or incoherence is still there a little bit, because one of the things that was confusing people is the marketing with this. Because, with this, people wondering, well, what is it? At one point, it was they pitched it like a horror movie, a straight up horror sci-fi flick. Screams, heavy breathing, darkness, blood everywhere. But then, a couple of weeks later, they came out they said, no, we're a wacky A-Team adventure.
Nebraska, the muscle.
You just killed somebody. Sorry, dumb question.
That was a dumb question. Coil, the mouth.
Oh, okay. So
I never saw this.
Yeah.
This is like a Grindhouse movie.
Yeah, it is. It is like a cross between a Grindhouse movie and the A-Team. Like I was saying, it looks like an action comedy.
Yeah.
So people are saying, all right,
which is it?
You Negro saw the movie. Which one? What is it? Tell me. Well, the answer is, and Martin may disagree, but I'm going to say it is action comedy.
I was going to say it's all of the above.
You know what? It has elements of those things, but
it's mostly an action comedy.
Yeah, because I look at this and I was like, it's trying to have elements of all those things we talked about before, but seriously, this is the most whimsical version of the Predator that we've seen. I will even go as far as to say, I know this sounds weird because we are talking about a lot of blood, a lot of gore, a lot of manly man language and cursing and whatnot, but it's almost like a kid's film in a way. Especially when you bring in an actual kid.
An actual kid, yeah.
Jacob Tremblay. I mean, seriously, look at the last trailer, a little bit of the last trailer that came out. And that one, the last one that came out probably gives you the closest feeling of the tone for this film.
I had a run-in with a space alien.
This fucking guy is crazier than the rest of us.
It's not a predator, that's a sports hunter.
Well, we took a vote. Predator's cooler, right? Fuck yeah.
You know, it. Believe me, it's from the moment the movie starts. They try to start like they gonna jump into some action because you
think it's gonna be like a dark comedy? I mean, I'll say a dark action movie that has comedic elements of people being smartasses, and you quickly realize, hold on,
no, they actually tried to make you think they're gonna do some badass shit like they did in the very first Predator, where they're gonna go hard, and then an alien comes in because they're like, oh, we getting ready to go up against the cartel.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh shit, the alien gonna be fighting the army and the cartel? No, the alien came down and pretty much went on stage and said, how's everybody doing tonight? I got a joke for you.
Hold on, let me kill these guys real quick. Yeah. All right. So an alien walks into the bar.
Yeah. So space, huh? Am I right? Man.
And what's the deal with wormholes?
Boo! They start going into the jokes pretty quick, and it's mixed in with the action, so it's not like they just being too goofy.
Yeah, it's not. They aren't actually stopping to do stand up.
No, they're mixing. It's mostly the dialogue that they're doing it with, and just like I said, kind of a little more lighthearted tone. They really are going for a lot of laughs. Granted, dark humor laughs, but they're going for laughs. But the moment they bring Jacob Tremblay in as this kid who has Asperger's, who apparently Asperger's will help you it can help you read an alien language. he's like the Rain Man for alien code.
Yeah.
But the moment they introduce him, it's almost like the Predator walked into a Goosebumps movie. Because they got Halloween going on, like E.T.
Right. Well, it's directed by Shane Black, and if he's not doing Christmas, he's doing Halloween.
He's doing Halloween. You know, he's
and he probably was like, man, I really want to throw Christmas in here. I know. No, goddammit, this is one time, you can't.
The alien being, the Predator being, he's like, the Predator's like, don't get me mixed with that motherfucker. I hate him. Now, the Predator, when we say that he's a comedian, he really does come in with jokes. Like, say what you will about all the other Predators that you've seen. This one, he's got a sense of humor. I mean, Martin, am I lying? I'm talking right down to like Carrot Top type humor. Like there's a part in the movie where he's a prop comic. Yeah. There are moments, like cute moments in here. The mercs that you see in the movie. Because they introduced them, and at first I thought
well, they're not really mercs though, and I think that's important.
What's that?
I say they're not really mercs.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, those are just
because they at one time they described themselves as mercenaries.
Do they? Because they're all just crazy vets.
Yeah,
on their way to prison or a mental institution.
Because they were talking about, we're mercs. They were talking about, we are, we're crazy mercs, but we're mercs. And the thing is with these guys, like I thought I would hate them because I remember we talking about the trailer.
Sure. Yeah, in the trailer they look like they're annoying.
Because I thought I was going to really hate one particular person, Keegan Michael Key. I thought I was going to hate him.
This fucking guy is crazier than the rest of us.
I was like, please kill him early in the movie. But the thing about all these crazy killers that they got, they're on their way to, as you said, they're on their way to pretty much be either killed or lobotomized because they're just too crazy for the world.
Too dangerous.
And too dangerous. But once you see them, they're lovable.
Yeah, it's not even like you eventually love them. You're right off the bat. Like, they're endearing.
Like right off the bat, they're They're like the kindest, most polite, most caring, and jovial group of crazy killers you've ever seen.
Relax. We're the good guys.
Oh, that's cute.
I like her.
Like it's like a party every time. Am I lying? It's
You're not lying at all. They're the opposite of what the Mercs were in the very first movie, where they were just macho to the point of like, Jesus, you guys is there anything human about you other than the steroids you take? The human growth hormone you were drinking on the ship.
The only bad thing about the actors in the film that I can say is that sometimes the actors play their crazy parts a little too much, like they overact that, because you got Thomas Jane. You know, you got Thomas Jane over there. He's over there twitching because he got Tourette's at the time, and you know, other people on the bus like Keegan-Michael Key. He's over there screaming all the time. You know, and it's like, okay, man, calm down. You ain't that fucking crazy, okay? I mean, these guys are sometimes the actors are having too much fun with the roles, and they are playing it a little bit too comedic sometimes, if you ask me. Boy Holbrook, man, he's a straight man. He's a straight guy, but the thing about the way they write him as a straight guy, he's not only just a straight guy, he's the typical action hero who gives the typical tough guy lines.
Show me again, I want to break your neck.
That's about the sum of his character right there. You know, besides shooting the gun and every now and then acting like he cares for his son. The only one out of those characters that really seems like either they're not overacting, playing the crazy part too much, or just being a straight up tough guy is Trevante Rhodes.
He's fantastic.
He's a really good actor, man.
You know what? And it's funny, just to look at him, in my head I just kept feeling like, oh, it's like 50 Cent learn how to act.
Yeah, he actually opened up his mouth. Yeah, that's the guy from Moonlight.
Right.
The adult version of the kid in Moonlight, if you saw it.
No, I mean, all those guys, mercs, vets, whatever they are endearing, but especially him.
Yeah, it's him. It's almost like he's the one that's like, look, you know, I'm trying to get my career started. I can't be fucking around like y'all. Let me just tell y'all something. For the last couple of weeks, Martin and I, we've been flip-flopping on some movies. I've been hating movies that he likes, and I've been liking movies that he hates. And I don't know what way he's going to do his review tonight or go about it, but I would say there's one last thing, and I don't know if you'll agree with me, because the movie, I'm telling you, man, the movie is downright, if it didn't have blood in it and all the cursing, it would almost be a Goosebumps movie. It would almost be kid-friendly. Those Rasta dogs in the movie that you saw, the ones that when we looked at the trailer, like, shit, these goddamn Rasta dogs, they better tear somebody's ass up. No, they might lick you to death.
They'll growl.
They'll growl, but then they'll
come and let you rub their bellies.
No, there's a point where there's a point that these dogs might as well be Lassie. There's a point in here where these dogs, they are downright. One of them is downright adorable. You might as well name him Benji or something, because
Benji.
Don't let them dreadlocks and them teeth fool you. That dog was one of the cutest things in the movie. If you're expecting a Predator movie like the previous ones that you've seen, then you're not going to get that, because as we've been telling you, this is more of a comedy. For some that might work, and for some it might not. It's
entertaining. It's fun. That's something I didn't expect out of this movie. I feel like the mark of a good character is you're really hoping that they don't die, and that's so much with so many of them.
But it gets to a point where the movie becomes so funny that it gets silly, and for me, and then it gets goofy, and it's almost like Shane Black just all of a sudden just realized, you know what, this shit is stupid. he just kind of threw up in his hands and like, you know what?
I feel like he realized that from the very beginning.
Yeah, it's like he just said, you know what? I'm not taking this shit seriously. Yeah. You want me to? You really straight faced this? Okay, so all these years we've been
y'all been camping out for this thing that comes and hunts people and kills them and has every hunting gadget you could imagine and couldn't imagine.
A goddamn a Rastafarian alien with a spider mouth on safari on Earth. you want me to do this with a straight face? Okay, yeah, I got you. Now go on. I get it.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
Here, take it.
Not that, and it's not that I think that the concept is stupid. You know, I y'all know me. You've heard me say this before. I actually think that the first Predator is one of the most unique action satires that I've ever seen, and I actually really like this movie. Really like this movie a lot. I mean, it's almost it's a movie that just. The reason why I worked at the time is because, and what's missing from a movie like this is that a lot of people forget, and I'm not trying to put too much on one person, but in a way you kind of had to. This movie had Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah.
There's something out there waiting for us.
Whatever it is out there, killed Hopper. And now it wants us.
Oh, shit. Fuck with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And that's what they were saying. It can't be killed. And Arnold Schwarzenegger said, fuck that.
Yeah,
I'll kill it.
I mean, look, this movie, the original Predator, the Predator was not the star of that movie. It was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He was hot. He had made the Terminator. He had all kinds of movies coming out. And it was like, we got to get another vehicle for him.
Yeah. You got to keep in mind the way this movie was pitched. It really was pitched with Arnold Schwarzenegger's fame.
Yeah.
And that's something that's been missing from all these movies. A lot of people don't realize that Arnold Schwarzenegger was the one that made this movie what it is, kind of. And so when you don't have that, then you do peel back and see like, okay, this is kind of crazy right here. But it can still work. I've always thought the concept was cool. It's just that they hinge so much on one action star that they didn't really, I don't think they've written any great ones since then, except for probably Predators, which is the one that's on their planet and the one that's actually took the most initiative to evolve the story.
If you're questioning whether the first one was a satire, with this one, there is no question whatsoever.
Oh no, there's none at all. Martin, I tell you how I knew that Shane Black was not taking this seriously whatsoever. And if you go into, I'm telling you, I'm not even saying it's a great film. I'm not saying it's a bad film. I'm not saying anything yet, but I'm telling you right now, if you go into this movie, you better go into it knowing that it is almost making fun of itself and it's not taking anything seriously, because you're going in looking for like a serious Predator drama, you're gonna be disappointed. I think a lot of people will be doing that. There are moments when the Predator himself, he's playing pranks. I'm telling you, he's pranking people, he's punking people, man. And if you, like I said, when you see it, you know what I'm talking about. But this is not. It's even lit like a Goosebumps movie or a family film.
Yeah, a lot's in the dark with fog.
A lot of they got that. You know, they go out into the woods and they got that one dude up in the trees, that big ass bright blue lamp. You know, that one little shaft of light coming down. If you look at it, a lot of the interior shots are brightly lit, even on the bus at night. It's not really even horror. It's just gore. And even some of the gore is played up for laughs.
Oh, a lot of it's played up for laughs.
Yeah.
You know, it's either I was laughing at it or going, ooh.
Oh yeah. Like this dude right here. You know, I'm sorry. I feel bad for this dude. Nobody should have to die like this. I'm not even talking about die painful. I'm talking about just die looking as stupid.
Oh, I know. That's early on. And you're just like, wow, Predators does not give a fuck.
They kill you and insult you before your body even hits the ground. It does really turn into a sort of a cartoon where it starts to just make fun of itself, like this movie too much. Like it's a point where I felt like, all right, you know, man, maybe we should like just take a little bit of this seriously right here, because there are moments where I don't like if you weren't one of the main cast in the movie, you were just there to die. Yeah. You know, you were just there to be deli meat for the Predators.
Yeah.
You know, they would just if you were one of the government soldiers in this movie, like that asshole we just showed you,
or a scientist.
Or a scientist. Yeah, like if you were one of the government guys, you were just there to be sliced up by the Predator, which, okay, we know you need that, but my problem with that is that all of them were idiots. They were almost like the soldiers in G.I. Joe, except they actually got shot. You know, because this is just an army of buffoons. They do the dumbest shit. There's a part where they leave motorcycles out for enemies to find, and they just get them and just run off. And it's funny because they leave the right amount for these guys. You know what I'm saying? It was like the right amount of motorcycles. You almost could have counted them. It was the right amount for this, like, for people to just steal. They just left the keys in there, and these guys just took them and just formed the instant motorcycle gang going down the street.
Sure. Well, it set up a joke and it advanced the story. It helped the characters get from point A to point B.
It really will. But come on, I was like, really?
I know.
Y'all ain't got a garage to put this shit in. Y'all don't even have like a bicycle chain or something for these. And then if you weren't there to die or kill other things, then you were there just to like give these short amounts of explanation and what do you call it? Exposition. And the way you did it too, like if you were a scientist in this movie, or if you weren't killing somebody, your job was to just kind of walk around and look at alien things and talk about the history of it in the past. Oh yes, this is what we did here. We found this at this time. Oh yes, that is alien tech right there. And that, like your boy Sterling K. Michael. Or Michael, what's his name?
Sterling K. Brown.
Sterling K. Boogie Brown. He spent the whole movie just walking around either dead aliens or artifacts and just looking at things and giving explanation.
And never blinking.
Although I have to say, I really enjoyed him in the movie.
Yeah, it looked like he was having fun.
He's
being an asshole.
Nah, man. In the movie, he's
always playing a good guy. I mean, I guess not always, but here he got to be an actual, almost not quite a supervillain, but an asshole who enjoys being an asshole.
Yeah. The other guys are crazy, are goofy, are buffoons, but he really did have some great lines in the film. Like that line that we played earlier in the trailer.
It's not a predator, that's a sports hunter.
Well, we took a vote. Predator's cooler, right? Fuck yeah.
I don't know if that was in the script or if he ad-libbed, because there's a lot of stuff he ad-libbed. There's one line in this movie where he talked about how an alien got fucked up. Do you remember that line?
Yes, I do.
He brought the street out. He like,
did. I know. I was like, wow, that wasn't even necessary.
He's like, yeah. He looked at me like, God damn, they fucked you up. You know what I mean? I'm paraphrasing very loosely. Once you hear it,
you hear it. Yeah, don't ruin it.
No, I want you got to hear it for yourself. But it is, believe me, you're not going to expect what he's going to say.
Wait, what did he just say?
You have the people that are either, fodder for the alien. You're there to give explanation. The fan service is kind of clumsy too. They try to repeat some lines, some very quotable lines, or at least one from one of the other films. But I don't know, man. At that point, I was just kind of like, all right, it's not so much a comedy anymore. Then it's just kind of a mess. But that was just me.
Oh, okay. You done?
Yeah, I'm just passing it on. I'm not done, but I'm passing it on.
Well, I never know when you're done.
Hey, Marty, I'll tell you when I'm done. When I look at you like this, and I just stare at you.
You know what? I guess I never thought of it as a mess. I just thought that it went great for a while, and then there's a point late in the really by the time it got to the final climax, it got sloppy. And I guess that's just what happens sometimes with these. I mean, not to give it a pass, but you just see it happen so many times where it's like, well, I mean, what do you guys want to do? This is just how these things go, and I'm not going to stretch myself to come up with something brand new for this. But it's a fun ride. That was what was surprising to me, and what allowed me to get past like those motorcycles being there. I'm like, all right, getting hung up on motorcycles just happen to be in one spot. Like you look at this movie wrong because it doesn't care about that.
I'm looking at it wrong. I'm looking at that's kind of that's sloppy writing right there. There's a difference between writing something clever and funny, bringing a different tone to it, but writing something badly.
No. I mean, it is. I mean, like I said, it's just to set up a joke that actually I laughed at. But it's one of these things where they do a lot of getting around pretty fast, and they were in one place one time, and then time kind of speeds up and slows down for them to move all over on the board. One of the characters I think nobody expects to like that I did was Olivia Munn, because they go like, oh, she's too pretty to be a scientist. I thought she carried it well, and there was a lot of, as much as they could throw in a misogynistic joke, they could also take one and flip it and go the other way.
Olivia Munn was good.
Yeah. She's able to deliver her smart ass lines, and even the way she interacts with some of them individually, the way they are with her, I thought worked. I was like, all right, that's good, because usually one of these things gets, once the roller coaster gets going, nobody wants to stop and have these small moments.
I think, speaking of story, I do think that it tries to evolve. I mean, it's definitely It's the one, as I was saying, that's trying to connect itself to the original film the most out of all these movies. But and I think that this tries to evolve from that last point. But some of that is also clumsy too, because a lot of times it's it's hanging on too tight to old elements from the franchise, where they almost feel forced in, or even out of place with the kind of tone they're taking here. Like, especially when they try to outdo the original, because there are times when because they're just trying to make it bigger and better, just to like say, hey, you know what, we're just doing it bigger and better than the original. All right, you've seen the Predator, so now we got to make a Predator in this. And they, like with the guys, with the mercs, as I said, the guys in the first movie, they were tough and they were killers. And this one, like, well, we're tough killers and we're crazy, and it's just like, all right, that's cool. But it didn't feel natural too much. And I even say that some of the things that they did bring in as new elements, the reason why the Mega Predator doesn't work a whole lot for me is because they explain why it's a Mega Predator, but it's a weak explanation. I mean, it's one of those explanations where they're just walking around and just say, oh yeah, because he has this. And then you realize right after that, man, y'all don't have shit. It's just, you just want a bigger badass Predator in here. There's a lot of things that they introduce that they're not going to follow through on and explain with this. And that's because they want to keep this open for a sequel. Yeah, and they really do set it up hard for a sequel.
Let the next guy take that.
Yeah. And they're trying to set up for a really badass sequel. And I have to say, like, again, they're trying to evolve things. But at the same time, I'm glad they kept it a mystery because these Predators come across like they just don't know what the fuck they're doing sometimes. That's where it starts to get silly. They have, if you really think about whatever plan they had, they are very poor planners.
They are, especially when they reveal the plan that the first Predator came down, when they said, well, this is what he wants to do, and I'm like, huh. Well, he sure did kill a lot of people leading up to this.
Yeah, it's like
there was a much better way to do that.
It really is. The social skills are terrible.
Yeah. Hey, I need y'all to listen to me. So anyway, if you could come over here so I can explain this.
Yeah.
Yo, man.
Yeah, if they did, you would hit it right on the head, Martin. Like, he's trying to tell us something, but we are saying, okay, we're listening, but will you just stop killing people for 5 minutes? Will you just stop hunting?
Sorry, man. It's just what I do.
Yeah. But put the fucking boomerang down for a moment, man.
Okay. Last one. I promise. Yeah.
Man, come on, calm down. Calm down.
That's not me. That's my dad. I don't do this anymore.
We might get somewhere. And if they ain't fighting us, they're fighting each other. And it's sad too.
I know, man, that predator on predator violence.
Man,
when will it stop?
That was just sad. That predator fight that we saw. I felt bad for that little predator.
I know.
It looked like somebody beating up that little brother.
It looked like that when that last burger beatdown.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It was like an 18-year-old boy beating up his 6-year-old little brother.
They all like, should have done that.
Look at his ass just went limp. He's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna lay here. He's thinking about that. He's like, yeah, I fucked up. I really shouldn't have done that.
I'm gonna just lay here for a while.
That alien looking that predator like, what the fuck was I thinking? He looking up at the sky right now, like, man, I should not have done this shit. And I wish you could. And he looks like a little boy trying to fight that other predator. Like, look at him when he comes at him. Look at this shit. He runs it. You can tell he don't know how to fight. Cause look at this shit. When he runs at him, look at him right here. Get out of my room, you son of a bitch. that little monkey run he did. There are moments that are fun in here, and there are people who are really fun in the movie too. I'll go back and say you're right. Olivia Munn, I was surprised by her, and Sterling K. Brown, man, that guy. I know that you like the dude from Moonlight, but Sterling K. Brown, man, he was the one who was having the most fun with the movie while being the best performer in the movie to me. Like they just wrote great lines for him. Whatever cool story they thought they were presenting, and they did have cool elements there, they kind of fell by the wayside. I mean, they just became little bits and pieces of hints of a better story there. While I might have nostalgia for the original movie, and I'm definitely not holding that over this film, I'll give it a rental. Give it a fun rental, man. I really am basing that on just sloppy storytelling and just small attention to detail that they just let slide.
It's constantly moving. It's sometimes it seems almost too fast, but not in a bad way. In that way of like, man, I got to rewatch this again because I know there's some jokes and some things that happened I missed. And it's one of these movies where, man, the Predators will slaughter anybody whose name is not in the credits prominently.
Oh yeah,
it's almost like extra, gone, dead. Okay, you would live, you would build third. So I'm just push you away.
Shit, if you work for craft services, you might die.
Yeah, but anybody you recognize, they ain't going nowhere right away. It's just going to toss them a little bit. It just gets sloppy toward the end, and in the very ending that sets up the sequel, I was like, okay, I don't care for that at all.
Yeah.
And it didn't even feel like the rest of the movie. It was almost as if the studio came and said, "Yo, man, we got to set up that sequel."
Yeah.
And Shane Black said, "I'm not filming that." And he's like, "Well, we got this second unit. Let them do it."
Yeah.
Because none of the writing in that part felt like the rest of the movie.
I actually think that ending was horrible.
Yeah. But honestly, for my entertainment value, it's a matinee.
Okay. I told you. I don't know what's going on the past few weeks. We just can't get along, man.
We got closer this time.
Did we get closer? Okay, because the last few weeks, when me and Martin, like especially last week.
Well, last week we didn't like either movie. We just
couldn't agree on which movie to like.
Yeah.
So last week I liked one movie. Martin came and was like, "Well, fuck you, then." I was like, "Okay, Martin, I agree with you now." You know what? I see it your way, Martin. Now that I'm looking at the moon.